We've got a huge new drop in Hockey Ultimate Team for the PWHL. We've got new team builders, X-Factors, and fantasy cards, all representing different players from the PWHL. On top of that, we've got our Season 2 roadmap for the future HUD events that are upcoming, so let's break it all down. Now let's kick things off with the roadmap in Season 2. They released an infographic covering all of the newest XP path items, including the 90 overall Headman, as well as the major PWHL update, including all of the teams, jerseys, as well as some World of Chell events, including the Winter Wonderland for NHL Arcade. But probably the most important when it comes to Hockey Ultimate Team is that they released the 4 HUD events that we are getting next, and that is the Protect and Net event that is already going on, followed up by the Frozen Forces event, which then leads into the Gallery of Greats, and then finally the HUT 2000s event. Now, if all of these events are 2 weeks long, that would take us until January 24th. So unless they are not doing Team of the Year, which I would almost guarantee they are definitely doing, they are doing it in conjunction with these events, again at the beginning of January, or it's not happening until the end of January after these events, which would be a pretty massive change. And maybe that's to help with the fact that because the event is a marketing event, and they've got like the gold skates and all of the media that comes with a lot of the players, they've had to start selecting these guys like in the early November, which kind of takes away the whole idea of the entire calendar year. But that's something to pay attention to, and really the biggest piece of info that I got out of the infographic. So starting first, the fantasy hockey event is back for the PWHL players. And again, these will operate exactly the same as the men version, where every time a forward scores, they will go up +1 overall. A defenseman will go up +2 overall. Taking a look at those new Master Set player items from the fantasy event, we'll start first with the Minnesota Frost Grace Zumwinkle at 5'9", 165. She comes in at 86 overall. Now, all of the PWHL women have played 2 games out of a 24-game season. So for anyone that doesn't know how the season works, again, they can play 24 games in the regular season. They've just started their season, so 22 games remaining for all of the women fantasy items. Now, she comes with Gold Make It Snappy and Power Forward. She's got 88 speed, 86 excel in agility, and 85 endurance. The shot power is pretty low at 83 overall, but the accuracy's up at 90. Hand stats are all very good already, 85 body checking, and decent defensive awareness for the right-handed winger. She already has 1 goal this season, and last year she scored 11, so she's going to have to up that total if she wants to get to 99 overall. Laura Stacey from the Montreal Victoire, 5'10", 157, the right-handed wingers, got 2-way forward and pinpoint shooting boost, as well as Gold Schneid. 87 speed, 85 excel, and 87 agility to go with 87 endurance. Mid to high 80s shooting, and hand stats as well, deking at 87 and passing at 86. Good body checking at 87 overall, and great defensive awareness at 92. Now, last year, she scored 10 goals in 23 games. She's already got 1 in the first 2 for Montreal, so she will have to top last year's total, but she's already a usable card. From the New York Sirens, we've got Jamie Bourbonnais, 5'7", 126, the right-handed defenseman's got defensive defenseman as well as pinpoint shooting boost and gold seeing eye. She's got 87 speed and 88 excel and agility, 90 balance, which is important considering her size, 86 endurance with defensive defenseman activated, great defensive awareness at 92, and body checking at 91. Last year, she had 5 goals. Again, every goal will put her up by 2. Through 2 games, she does not have 1. Up next is the 88 Megan Keller from the Boston Fleet at 5'11", 165. So extremely usable size, a 2-way defenseman and gold power shooting boost, as well as gold heat seeker. 88 speed, 89 excel, and 91 agility and balance. Very usable. 87 endurance with 2-way defenseman activated. Shot power, again, is a little low, but I think with the 1T boost from skill-based one-timers, I don't even know if it'll matter. 90 hand stats, 86 body checking, and great defensive awareness and stick checking, both above 90. Last year, she had 4 goals in 24 games. Through 2 for Boston this season. She does not have 1. She'll need 6 to hit 99. From the Toronto Scepters, we've got the 88 Hannah Miller, 5'9", 179. The left-handed centerman has 2-way forward as well as power shooting boost and gold close quarters. 88 speed and excel, 93 agility, 89 balance, and decent endurance at 87. Her shot is in the high 80s, and her hand stats are fantastic. 93 deking, 95 offensive awareness, 90 passing and 89 puck control, 91 body checking, 88 faceoffs, and 89 defensive awareness. an extremely well-statted card. She had 7 goals last year in 23 games. She's already got 1 in the first 2 for the Toronto Scepters, but this is already one of the better cards in the game, just based on the attributes. And then from the Ottawa Charge, we've got the 88 Gabby Hughes. The left-handed winger is 5'9", 134 with 2-way forward and power shooting boost with gold 1T, 87 speed, 88 excel, 91 agility and balance. Again, good endurance on her card. High 80s shooting with 92 slap shot accuracy. Hand stats are in the high 80s as well. Body checking's all the way up at 92. And her defensive awareness and stick checking both at 90. Face-offs at 91 if you activate 2-way forward. She had 9 goals in 24 games last year. Through 2, she does not have her first one yet, but still an extremely strong card. Now, when it comes to the fantasy event, it will work a lot like it did when the fantasy event was out originally. So you have 2 options. You can spend 40 fantasy collectibles to make the individual fantasy item that you are looking for, again, just like you could when the original event was out, or you can spend 16 and you will get a random account-bound player from this release. It is only the Master Set player items that we looked over. There are no other event cards, so 16 as opposed to 40 if you are just looking to get involved in the event. Again, you will not get to choose who you pick here, and it will be account bound, meaning that you can't trade it in or sell it because it is not tradable. Now, it does not appear that there are any new objectives or moments to get fantasy collectibles, so you are going to need to trade in some of your set fodder. 383s will get you 3 hockey collectibles. So again, it is 183 per fantasy hockey collectible. You would need 40 in total to make a choice option. You can also trade in 581s for 2 fantasy hockey collectibles, and then 779 and above items to get 1 fantasy hockey collectible. Now, obviously, it's not going to be for everyone, but I think the one thing that they did well was to include them in the fantasy event. I think that anytime that you can put a focus on the real-life sport and combine it with the game, that's when we get the best events. That's why the fantasy event is always the best. I think this is great for the player base to get some knowledge and maybe watch some hockey from the PWHL. It's also great for the PWHL to get some more notoriety from the casual hockey fan. And I'm not going to lie, these cards are actually quite strong. We've also got our next release of X-Factors for the PWHL. You've got the 6 base items, just like the Series 1 release, 4 captains, and then the 88 Natalie Spooner, which would be the supercharged from this release. It does state down below more X-Factor series to come. I would almost guarantee that that's there so that the player base understands that this will not be Series 2 of the X-Factor release, as everyone is kind of waiting for that. I would hazard a guess that we're probably getting that second release pretty quickly on top of this X-Factor release. Taking a look at our 6 base X-Factors. Again, most of these are probably not going to be really usable on a lot of our teams that have been playing since the start of the game. We've got Kelly Panic from the Minnesota Frost. However, she does have 88 face-offs, which actually makes her quite usable. Maureen Murphy from the Montreal Victoire. We've got Savannah Harmon from the Ottawa Charge. She's got Silver Shutdown, but again, probably pretty tough skating to use at this point. Aaron Frankel from the Boston Fleet. I feel like it would be a great Hut Champs Challenge, or even just in squad battles to see how many games you could win. She is 5'5", obviously, so very tough to battle the online opponent with. We've got Renata Fast from the Toronto Scepters at 5'6", the right-handed defenseman. Has silver elite edges, 86 skating across the board, but very low defensive awareness down to 84. And then Alex Carpenter from the New York Sirens at 5'7", 154. The left-handed center does have 87 faceoffs and silver puck on a string, but again, the skating is pretty tough to use if you are an online player currently. Now, your captains, these will work exactly like Nylander, Kucherov, Fox, and Heiskanen. It will cost you 2 X-Factor tokens to upgrade from the 86 to 87. Now, she's 5'8", 150. The left-handed defenseman does come with gold shutdown and 2-way defenseman. Again, I think her speed and acceleration just make it real tough to use. 88 body checking, however, is pretty nice, and gold shutdown is a very good ability. Ashton Bell from the Ottawa Charge is your next captain, the right-handed defenseman at 5'9", 141. She's got 87 speed and excel, 90 agility and balance. Really low endurance at 83, however, which is kind of frustrating on an X-Factor card. Has gold seeing eye, which can be fun. 88 body checking and 87 defensive awareness. Marie-Philippe Poulin from the Montreal Victoire at 88 overall. Comes with 87 speed, 88 excel, 90 agility, 91 balance. Has sniper forward, which does get her shot accuracy into the 90s. Hand stats are all above 90, and she has gold-born leader, as well as 90 face-offs and 90 body checking. So obviously at 5'6", 161, not going to be able to throw a lot of people around, but the 90 body checking does help with that. And then from the Minnesota Frost, you've got the 87 Taylor Heisey. Last year, she was a usable card when she had her Team of the Year release. She's got playmaking forward as well as agility boost, which would get her agility and balance into the mid-90s. She's got gold elite edges, which is going to make her feel like an extremely snappy skater. Only 87 speed, though, at 88 overall. Hand stats are all great. Body checking's good, and she's got 92 faceoffs. So they all become essentially some of the best centerman cards when it comes to their faceoff rating. And then lastly, the supercharged card from this release. You've got the 89 Natalie Spooner with upgrades. Again, it will cost 2 X-Factor tokens to get to 89. She comes with sniper forward as well as pinpoint shooting boost and gold make it snappy. 90 speed and excel, 89 agility, 90 balance, 88 face-off rating. Deking's up at 92. Body checking's at 90. Not an extreme advantage given the high overall in comparison to the rest of the player base, but she would be your supercharged X-Factor. Now, unlike the team builders, the X-Factors are completely separate. So there is a PWHL X-Factors, and they work exactly the same when it comes to how you create these cards. So it will cost 22 items, but it is 78 and above as opposed to 38, 75 and above player items to get a base PWHL X-Factor item. And then you need to trade in all 6 of the base X-Factor items for one of the captains, just like you would with the Series 1 release. And then all 4 of the captains to get Natalie Spooner's supercharged X-Factor. Now, you will get 2 of the captains back. They will be account bound, so you won't be able to trade them in. That works, again, just like the Connor McDavid sets. Now, to help earn some of these rewards, the PWHL objective list will have you completing random objectives with different players from different teams. Completing all of this will give you a PWHL X-Factor starter pack, which would give you one of the 6 base items. So quite a discount when you consider the cost to make one of the base X-Factors if you are looking to do so. You've also got new PWHL moments, so there are 6 moments to complete here, and they will give you a PWHL Weekly Moments Players Pack. This is exactly like the weekly HUT moments, essentially, where most of those packs are just going to include bronze player items. And then you also have the X-Factor PWHL moments, where you will get various overall player items, as well as an X-Factor player choice pack at the end, if you want to complete that. And then lastly, we've got our new team builders. Now, if you head on over to the store, there is a free 83 overall team builder pack that you are definitely going to want to open, because that will give you a choice of any of the 83 PWHL team builder items. So starting first from the Sirens, we've got the 83 overall Abby Levy, 6'1", with 85 speed. So again, obviously we know in-game, probably going to be a little bit tough to use, but in all honesty, there's some other 6'1" goaltenders being used in Hockey Ultimate Team. Emily Clark, who I've had the pleasure of meeting a number of times from the Charge, 5'7", 134 with two-way forward. She's got decent defensive stats. Dominika Leskova from the Victoire, the right-handed right defenseman, has two-way defenseman and only 83 speed. Obviously pretty tough to use at this stage of the game. Lee Steckline from the Frost at 6 foot. The left-handed D-man has really good endurance at 88 overall, but only 85 speed, 86 excel and agility. Good defensive awareness at 89, as well as 88 stick checking. Blair Turnbull from the Scepters with two-way forward. Decent face-off rating at 85 overall. Jamie Lee Rattray, the left-handed winger, also has 85 face-offs, so obviously some lineup flexibility there. Slapshot power and accuracy is a little rough, though, in the low 80s. So I'm going to go with, again, the player that I've had the pleasure of meeting a number of times in Emily Clark. Now, the good thing about these 83 overall team builders is that you can use them for any of the other 86 overall team builders that you're looking to go after. Maybe you just need one more team builder to grab one of them that you've already been interested in. The women team builder cards will count towards those 83s. And then if you wanted to continue making some of the PWHL team builder items, it works exactly the same as the other ones. You would need to get 60 and 77 and above items for each of those teams to get the team builder card at 83 overall, which you can then work towards by trading in two 86s you can get the 89 overall Alina Mueller. So obviously you are going to have to make 2 of the 86 versions, so Boyle and Koivu, for example. They would be required to trade in for this 89 overall. Now, the 89 Alina Mueller at 5'6", 143. The left-handed center has sniper forward and agility boost. She's got great skating, 90 speed, excel, 93 agility. She's got silver puck on the string and gold elite edges to go in combination with those great skating stats, a good shot, great hand stats, and 90 face-offs. So other than the size of the player, this is an extremely good card when it comes to just attributes and ability alone. So let me know what you think of the new PWHL content in the comment section down below, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.